Sky, and then we'll go to Joe from the BBC, and then we'll open it up to everyone else. Do a separate UK written as well afterwards. Go ahead.
Hi Ben, you've named your team. Jofra Archer is back. How excited are you by that prospect?
Yeah, really exciting. I think it's great for English fans, but also for Joff. It's been, like a long time coming for him. I think his the way in which he's handled the injury setbacks over that period has been very commendable, and then the way in which he's got himself back onto the field and playing cricket over a long period of time now. It was exciting to have him back into the squad and in contention for last week, but now that we can say he's in the playing 11, very exciting for the group, but also I think a pretty great day, and I think Josh's going to be pretty proud of himself that he's managed to get himself back here after two pretty big injury scares.
What can he add to the bowling attack that maybe others can't?
I wouldn't ever like to go into it like that. I think it's a case of we've had two tough games, a lot of time in the field, and got through some overs as a bowling unit. So you get to this position here with back-to-back Test matches, and you feel it's the right time to get some fresh legs in. And it was exciting that we had the ability to be able to call on someone like Joff.
A lot of England fans will remember him from 2019 and the spell here. Can he get back to that level, or might we be seeing a slightly different form of Jofra Archer with the red ball?
No, definitely. I think when he's played for England, I know it'd be in the shorter format. I think it's obvious whenever he does get the ball in his hand, there is that sort of that change in the game. I think the opposition feel it as well, because they know what he can do in a spell. I don't think there's any reason as to why we can't see Jofra Archer operating at a level like we've seen here on Lords in his debut.
And how do you plan to use him? Will you use him in shorter spells than perhaps previously?
It'll all be a sort of in the moment kind of thing, like same with anyone, where if you do get a sense to maybe give someone an extra over or two than you originally planned because they feel like they're being a big threat, and you could maybe get one or two more overs out of them to potentially get a wicket. But there's definitely going to be no preconceived ideas around he's only bowling spells of 4 or 5. Definitely not.
And how much help will he and the others get from the pitch here? Have you had a look at it?
Lords generally it plays out the same way whenever you tend to play. There's always seems to be a little bit in it on days 1 to 2, and then if anything, it probably speeds up as the game goes longer. I watched a bit of the World Test Championship, and it was the same there. Don't know.
And how are you feeling after Edgbaston? A quick turnaround, tough test mentally, no doubt. And also, how do you feel about your batting at the moment?
I'm good. Good.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sweet.
Joe, go ahead.
And was there a temptation to make any more changes in the team? I know people were probably wondering about that with the tight turnaround, and your bowler's got a lot of overs into the driving class. I know it obviously has ongoing issues. Was there a temptation to rest anybody else to make any more changes for this match?
Just to again reiterate, Cast, there was no ongoing issues with him again. It was like we obviously quick turnaround, so we waited to see how everyone pulled up, and Wokesy and Cassie were good, so that's why we stuck with it.
It's been a really tight series so far, 1-1, and for such a big marquee 5-test series, I think that's what everybody hoped for and what everybody expected. What gives you the confidence right now, Ben, that England have the edge over India overall?
This was always going to be a series which was going to, moments ebb and flow. The results were going to ebb and flow because of two very good teams going at it against each other. We came out on top at Headingley, they come out on top at obviously the last game. I think when you have two good sides going at it against each other, you are going to see that. Whether we have, I don't think we feel like we have the edge over anyone. We respect our opposition, whoever that may be, whatever period in a series it may be. We'll be coming out this week, and trying to hit them hard and obviously trying to come away with a win.
Just finally from me, anything particular in terms of Shubman Gill that you're thinking about or planning, or stick to the plans that you've already had through the season?
Yeah, look, we've obviously got plans for all the Indian batters, but again, very good players are allowed to play well, and he has played very well in the first 2 games.
We'll go Rory, Chris, and this gentleman here. Go ahead, Rory.
Are these balls in particular proving to be a challenge for you as a captain? Because I guess making those breakthroughs when the ball is still giving you something is becoming more a premium than ever.
Yeah, look, I think we're not the only. Whenever we have touring teams come here, there is an issue around the balls going soft, going completely out of shape. I don't even think that the rings that we use are Duke's rings. Yeah, it's something that isn't ideal, but yeah, you got to deal with it. You know, you obviously, if you feel like the ball's gone out of shape, then you're going to check it with the umpire, and if it goes through the rings, it goes through the rings, and you crack on, and then hopefully eventually it gets that badly out of shape that you are able to change it. But yeah, look, everyone, the bowling team seemed to struggle with it. It seemed a big issue last week at Edgbaston. But yeah, it is what it is. If it fits through, we keep going. If it doesn't, then we get a new one.
And can I just ask you, as a captain, what you made of Bjorn Mulder's decision to declare on himself when the 400 was in sight? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you've had Harry go to 300. Is that a decision you'd ever make, or do you think you let them crack on?
I think it's, as a captain, you'd rather do it yourself than your captain potentially pull you out on a groundbreaking day. But fair play to him, I guess. You know, don't know. I think he said something where Brian that should stay with Brian Lara. He's not going to get that opportunity again. Yeah, but no, fair play to him. They got the win, which obviously is a big thing that counts.
We've got Chris. Thank you.
Hi there. You've had quite a few special moments at Lords over the years. One of those was your century against Australia a couple of years ago. Just wondering what your memories of that innings are, and whether that another big score was possibly around the corner for you this week.
It's 2 years ago, so pretty over that now. And yeah, hopefully, you know, the score's around the corner.
We'll go Will at the back, and then we'll take 2 here.
And back in the day, a player coming back from injury like Jofra might have played 3 or 4 first-class games. Obviously, he's going in after only 1, which a lot of your kind of predecessors as captain, forward players kind of can't really understand. What kind of was your message to them about Jofra's readiness and why you decided that now is the right time?
Stop having this default of going to the worst, if that makes sense. We're a very good nation at doing that. I see it as Jofra's played a lot of cricket over the last, it's been back 3 years now. You know, he's been playing white ball cricket for England. And yeah, like he got through a first class game for Sussex and felt really good throughout that whole time. And he got us loads up throughout that whole week last week. And like, if we didn't think he was in a position to be able to get through a test match as a bowler, then we wouldn't even be considering him for selection.
Go ahead.
Just an extension of that question. When you have an X factor like Jofra, how do you plan his comeback, or how do you pick and choose his matches? Does it depend on the conditions, the venues, or the opposition? When you need to protect an asset like that, how do you go about it? Or do you have a set number of overs that he needs to bowl making a test match, not go beyond that? Do you plan that way?
No, not really. I think, look, if we did not think he was ready or in a position to be selected, we would not select him. Yeah, that's it. We think he's done enough to be able to get through a test match. You know, whenever you walk out onto the field, you're always putting yourself at risk. It's professional sport. It's a very physical sport, what we do. you know. So we're all walking out there with potentially something going wrong. We don't know. But yeah, we would not select someone if we didn't think that they were able to get through a game.
One here and behind, and then we'll thank you.
When you called the last week, the last pitch, Edgbaston in the post-match interview, subcontinent time. Will you be a little more cautious around this time around? You know, when you're going for the dot that whether you want to bowl first or bat first, knowing what had happened in Edgbaston.
Well, no, I think it's, look, we're not stuck in our ways about this. I think let's make that clear. I think it's sort of, that's been something that's been built up. We, you know, we bowled first at Edgbaston because there was, you know, decent overhead conditions, but that soon disappeared. Clouds broke out, but yeah, I'm not the Met Office, so you know, I can't tell what's going to happen later on in the day after 10:30. But yeah, look, Lords, it's meant to be really, really hot this week, so if it is that's the case, where the sun is out blazing tomorrow, I think whoever wins the toss is probably going to end up doing the same thing.
Last one.
Hi Ben. Ben, what do you make of your own personal form? There's a bit being written about your form as well with the bat, and it is also being said that you're not giving yourself enough opportunities to play matches in between these test series.
Cool, I'm all right. It's fine. And what do you want to play some games in between a series?
As in, for example, the India A games, you could have the first class matches.
All right.
India A.
No, look, I had my surgery in January. The priority for me was getting myself into a physical position to be ready for this India series, and Zimbabwe before that. Then looking at the whole schedule where I had with obviously the opportunity to play for Durham, it was too early to play. Then I would be putting myself at risk of injuring myself again. And then there was always that option of me playing that Lions game after the Zimbabwe test. But that was purely going to be a late decision on how I felt I got through that Zimbabwe test. And I felt good. And yeah, like, it's pretty obvious that I'm getting closer towards the end than I am to the start. So when it comes to me making decisions around games, I've got to be a lot more clever and more sensible around those decisions that I make, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.